You're an agribusiness executive navigating an increasingly competitive market while trying to grow your company. Mergers and acquisitions are pitched as an accelerant to growth, but many M&A deals destroy more value than they create. Welcome to the Pacesetter Pod, where we explore and reveal the perspectives, insights, and approaches for successful mergers and acquisitions. Here's your host, the Integration Pacesetter, Joe Mosier.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pacesetter Pod. As always, I am your host, Joe Mosier, founder and principal advisor of Mosier Consulting Group, where we work with leaders of small and middle market food and agribusiness firms to de-risk strategy and M&A deals to produce better results in less time and with less disruption. I appreciate you joining us today, where we'll be talking about the role, the influence, and the impact your mindset has on the success of your M&A efforts, and specifically how to apply the right mindset to your integration efforts. So what does this mean? The way you think about your integration plan is just as important as the way you do your integration. In fact, I believe that the former produces the latter. You've probably heard many examples of mindsets and the power that's inherent in understanding your mindsets. We've heard a lot about what they provide and enable, or what they might restrict or deprive. But let's go through a couple of examples just to level set here. So one of the most common mindsets that we hear about is a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. With a fixed mindset, very simply put, being one where you believe you are born with certain aptitudes and certain skills, certain things that you're good at, and that's what you're good at, versus a growth mindset that says through exploring new experiences and new opportunities, you can grow, change, and adapt your skill set. We've heard about abundance mindsets versus scarcity mindsets, with an abundance mindset being one that believes that there is an abundance of work and opportunity available in the world, a lot of need to meet your unique you and what you can provide, versus a scarcity mindset where we're all competing for the same opportunities, a finite number of opportunities, a zero-sum game, if you will. Sometimes people talk about an employee mindset versus an owner mindset, and how this might show up in the way people think about how to spend money or how to invest or what success looks like. I've heard people talk about having a job mindset versus a career mindset. And then also you have a transaction mindset versus a partnering mindset. A transaction mindset being one where value is extracted from one party to another party, again in sort of a zero-sum game. Money out of your pocket into my pocket, versus a partnering mindset where new value is created and it's shared among parties. And in every case of mindsets, what I think is really interesting is that the context largely remains the same. You have a task to do, you have a team to lead, you have a business to grow, you have a negotiation to complete. But mindset is not about changing the conditions under which you operate. It's about changing how you think about those conditions, about how you choose to respond to those conditions, how you choose to act, what you focus on, and what you might de-emphasize. And so today, I want to share with you my point of view on the power of an integration mindset and the impact it can have on your business, your strategy, and your M&A. Okay, the first point today, the first way mindset shows up in integrations is how leaders look at the cost of effort compared to investing in results. And put simply, you are managing a P&L, not a budget. Budgets are a zero-sum game. Money spent here cannot be spent there. Money saved here can be reallocated elsewhere in the organization. Budgets are about competing for resources. And in the context of integration, those resources could be people, it could be funding, it could be warehouse storage, production capacity, or the most attractive opportunities in the market. They're about trade-offs, and the trade-offs are explicit. A P&L, or profit and loss, on the other hand, is growth-oriented. Rather than competing for resources, you're competing for opportunities to pursue. So where budgets are a point-in-time view of the future that gets locked in, and then it calcifies into fixed targets that are based on those assumptions that were in the budget. And the challenge is every day, every passing day, those assumptions get further and further away in the rear view. P&Ls, on the other hand, adapt to the conditions. They adapt to the constraints and to the opportunities that the market provides. They're more fluid, and they can move to reflect the actual conditions in which the business is operating. An integration mindset is one that sets a budget with full knowledge and acceptance that while this is the best available information at the time, it's going to be the P&L that ultimately matters. What you know about your potential integration at the moment that your letter of intent is accepted by the target, what you know then is going to be different from what you know when you finish due diligence. And what you know at the end of due diligence is going to be different from what you know the day before closing the deal. And what you know in the weeks and months after the close is going to be different than what you know when you put pen to paper at close. And so setting targets and plans with incomplete information and then sticking to them when the facts have changed, that's budget management. That's doing what it takes to hit the budget, regardless of what long-term damage you may be inviting or whatever tremendous opportunities you're choosing to forfeit. You can't do that. The stakes are too high. An integration mindset is knowing that you're managing a P&L, not a budget, when you're conducting integration post M&A. The second part of this is that energy wanes, but mindset endures. Integrations are tough. They're going to require thousands, perhaps as many as 10,000 difficult, impactful, and urgent decisions. And these decisions are on novel challenges and issues. They're decisions that are completely incremental to the full-time workload that you and all of your people were carrying before you ever made the acquisition. And then the weight of those new decisions and all their demands, that's going to take a heavy toll on your business. It's going to weigh on you as a leader, as the leader who got the business into the mess in the first place by doing the M&A deal. It's going to weigh on the management team. It's going to weigh on the department heads. And it's going to weigh on everybody that's in the field pushing the integration forward every single day. And it's going to weigh indirectly on the many others that are not even directly involved in the integration. They get worn down by the change and uncertainty as well. And they're also picking up additional work that needs to get done because the people involved in the integration have to offload something somewhere. So really, no one gets out unscathed. No one is immune from the impacts of an integration. Don't think for a moment that focusing an integration on one part of the business, don't think you can say with confidence to another part of the organization, this won't impact you. There will be no changes. You don't need to pay attention to this. Everyone has an impact to one degree or another. And so over time, sometimes months, sometimes quarters, but usually days and weeks, that energy starts to wane. People are going to get tired. The enthusiasm you had at announcement day is going to start to yield to fatigue. And then that fatigue is going to turn into exhaustion. And so this is completely knowable, and it should be expected. Integrations are about transformational change, and the transformational change they introduce is hard. And this is why you cannot rely on some bottomless well of energy to sustain you or the others through the integration. You need a mindset. The right mindset energizes. It centers the mind. It focuses you on the long-term horizon and sets the tone that it's less about did we win or lose today, but how much better are we today than we were yesterday? And how might we be even better tomorrow? An integration mindset is going to acknowledge the budget shortfalls, but it's going to focus on the P&L opportunities. So while the energy wanes, mindset's going to endure.
Poorly executed mergers and acquisitions destroy more value than they create. They can set your company back years. To defend your firm's position in the marketplace, you need access to the leading practices that unlock the greater potential of your people, processes, and systems. If you are undertaking a company transformation or pursuing an acquisition as a vehicle to grow, set up a call with Joe by visiting www.moshercg.com.
The third and final point today is that mindset is really actually quite simple. And perhaps the hardest part is keeping it simple. So it's very tempting for me to try to define in exquisite detail all of the precise and exact qualities and parameters that I believe make up a winning integration mindset. But frankly, an exhaustive list is not really what you need from me. Leaders embarking on the journey of mergers and acquisitions as well as all the subsequent integration activities that have to happen once you complete the deal, leaders need to understand first the importance of mindset, the impact it has, what it could mean for their business professionally, and what it could mean for their success personally. So I'm not going to give you a complete list, but I do want to pull back the veil a little and really highlight 3 key integration mindset, let's call them attributes, that I think are really important to highlight. So the first attribute of a winning mindset: a winning integration mindset values trends over data. So you're going to need data to direct your focus and guide decisions during integration. But don't fall in love with the data and don't fall victim to the data. You don't want to suffer at the hands of single points of information. You need to value progress over a point in time. The best way during an integration to stay on schedule is to completely disregard and overlook new opportunities. The best way to stay on schedule is also to ignore risks that are emerging. And I think we all know what the long-term consequences of ignoring opportunities or risks is going to be. Whether you get the original plan done on time won't really make a big difference in the shadows of the impacts of the risks or the lost opportunities. And so, yes, I understand that risks and opportunities are disruptive to your plan. But at the end of the day, it's not about the plan. It's about the business. It's about the people in the business and the customers that those people serve. The second attribute of a winning mindset is understanding that transformation never really ends. And that's okay. Frankly, this should be a cause of celebration, not consternation. Yes, your integration will end, but the integration is just part of the M&A process, just part of the life cycle. The M&A process is about growth. And when you really think about growth, when you extrapolate it out to its logical extreme, growth is about transformation. It's not just growing to become more of what you already are. That is scale. Growth is about becoming more of what you are, better than what you are, and different than what you are, to different people in different places, in different times, in different ways. So when you center on this fact and don't shy away from it, it's going to help sharpen your perspective and your perception. And you'll see that the stresses that the integration places on the business and all those improvements that surface in response to those stresses, they're really part of a continuous improvement process for your business. When you understand that transformation never really ends, you'll be better able to recognize what are the signals of, are things going well or not going well? Are we making progress or not making progress? Are we capturing opportunities or staying beholden to a schedule? You'll be able to recognize the signals better and fade out the noise. You'll be asking the real questions. Is this a problem that needs to be solved? Or is this a growth pain that simply needs to be endured? The right mindset helps you know the difference and react accordingly. And the third and final attribute of a winning integration mindset that I want to share today is that it's not about you, it's about the people. So similar to any significant test of leadership and fortitude that you may encounter through your career, during a post-M&A integration, you're carrying the burden of not just looking out for yourself, but for stewarding others safely to the other side of the integration. Yes, you have a lot of demands. You're trying to look after value preservation of the existing business, absolutely important. You're trying to look at value realization and capture from the new acquisition, absolutely important. You're trying to ensure that you are being a good steward of the resources that the board of directors and shareholders have put in your hands to invest in the growth and the future of that business, absolutely important. But all of this is going to be won or lost on your people. Your people need your patience. Your people need your support. Your people are going to need your coaching. Your people are going to need to know that you care. Your people ultimately need you to adopt and demonstrate the right mindset, a mindset that's going to set the tone, it's going to set the direction, and set them up for success. So again, the third attribute is it's not about you, it's about the people. So let's recap what we've covered today. Integrations are won and lost on the basis of your mindset. A winning integration mindset is about managing a P&L, not a budget. It's about competing for opportunities, not resources. A winning integration mindset also energizes the organization by taking a long-term view and maintaining conviction in the benefits of the merger or acquisition, even in the depths of fatigue. And a winning integration is simple. Winning integration mindset is simple if you keep these 3 attributes in mind. You need to value trends over data and be better today than you were yesterday. You need to understand and celebrate the reality that transformation never really ends. And you need to stay rooted in a genuine belief that if you do what is right for your people, what is right for your business will follow. I hope this has been a valuable use of your time today. Mindset is just so important. It's so underappreciated. And I think we'd all do better when we spend more time thinking about it. It's a difficult thing to put your finger on. It's a bit esoteric. It's a bit touchy-feely. It's hard to quantify. It's hard to put sharp corners on, all the things that drive me crazy. But I still, over time, have realized through my own work, through leaders that I've worked under, through partners I've worked with, through businesses I've observed or businesses I've been a part of, those that have the right mindset outperform every single time. And so while it may be difficult for us to really put our fingers precisely on what it is, what makes the winning mindset, what's in and out, and what's the relative scoring and weighting, while we can't do those things scientifically, I don't think it means we shouldn't spend time on it. So I hope this has been great for you guys today. I've really enjoyed sharing some of my thoughts, and I look forward to having you join us on the next episode of the Pacesetter Pod, where we're going to dig into why you need to level up your process game in order to succeed in integration. And this is going to be a bit of a unique topic, as it has something for everyone. So this is not going to be just for the people that are in the midst of an M&A transaction. This is going to be about people who are thinking about pursuing an acquisition. It's going to be thinking about people who are thinking about even maybe selling, or people who are thinking about reinventing their business and unlocking the potential in how they operate. So join our discussion of how we take core business processes in the context of M&A and give you insights on how to get you fight ready to buy or sell and improve the value of your business. So thank you again for joining this episode of the Pacesetter Pod. I invite you to follow me, Joe Mosier, and the Mosier Consulting Group on LinkedIn, where we regularly post ideas, observations, and reflections to help you win at executing strategy and M&A in your agribusiness. And of course, I encourage you to hit subscribe on your podcast player so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. And if you like what you heard, we'd love it if you left a review. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.